Good evening, everybody. My name is Rob Reitz. Joining me tonight is Thomas Van Ort. We are broadcasting live from Roseville Area High School for Week 6 of the 6A Minnesota State High School League football season. Tonight, the Mounds Mustangs travel to the Roseville Raiders. Mustangs come into this season, into this game at a 2-3 record against the 0-5 Roseville Raiders. Thomas, I know you've done your homework on both teams here. What do we expect to see tonight from this Roseville Raider football team?
Well, the Roseville Raiders, they like to run the ball. They run the ball 71 times out of their 111 offensive snaps. Their quarterback, number 1, Isaiah Brown, has 39 passing attempts on the season. He has a 38.5% completion percentage rating. But as we mentioned earlier, Roseville is 0-5 going into this game. That being said, they have had a very strong schedule so far. The teams they've played have a combined record of 19-6, with most of those losses coming to the Stillwater team. They lost to the same 3 teams that the Mustangs have, as well as playing Wayzata and Stillwater. And those 2 teams have a combined record of 9-1. So those are 2 very good teams. So it might be skewing the record of an otherwise decent Roseville team.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting because I think this Roseville team is pretty athletic. Coach Mulberg thought when he saw them on film that they looked athletic, that they're going to be a fast and strong team. And he also felt like that strength of schedule was what had created the 0-5 start for them. And then we've got some injuries tonight on the Mounds side.
That is right. Number 44, Andrew Molinar, is going to be out for the rest of the season, in addition to number 66, John Rasmussen. So those are 2 big key spots that we're going to have to replace, considering that Rasmussen was playing on both the offensive and defensive lines.
So now that'll be Ivor Westerman playing both the offensive and defensive side of the football.
Ivor Westerman is actually going to be filling Molinar's spot at linebacker, and they're going to be bringing out another person. I believe Anthony Willier is going to be subbing out, playing both ways as well.
Yeah, so you've got most of our offensive line still intact. Pramel, Wheeler, James, Eggert are all going to start along the offensive line as they have for the most part, yeah?
For the most part, yes.
And then Westerman will fill in. We've got still some injuries on offense. It doesn't look like Vaz is going to play tonight. You've got Fenning Went, Dylan Wheeler, Hunter Rask, and Tyler Nystrom starting at receiver. Hendricks is back at running back. He's done a nice job carrying the football this year, and then Owen Wark is going to start again at quarterback for us. You want to talk a little bit about these defensive starters?
Well, we got our defensive end, number 77, Mitchell Thompson, who had himself a great game last week against Anoka, had a big strip sack coming off the edge, which gave Mounds 7 points on the board.
Yes, it did.
Also on the line is Nose, number 55, Wes Berlin, who has been there. Coming in, replacing Rasmussen, is number 62, Luke Eggert for the time being. Our outside linebackers are going to be the same. Senior Ryan Edelman, number 6, accompanied by the sophomore, number 35, Evan Hatton. Our inside linebackers, we are going to be replacing Andrew Molinar with Ivor Westerman, number 51, and number 34, Abdallah Abed, who's going to be continuing his play at inside linebacker. Our cornerbacks are going to be staying the same, number 4, Dylan Wheeler, and number 10, Eric Fenning-Went. And our safety core is going to include Jack Kelly, who's been having a great season, and the sophomore, number 86, Colin Elliott, who had himself a fantastic first varsity start last week.
I thought he looked great against Anoka. I think that was a pretty impressive start for the sophomore. You can see the future's bright here for the Mustangs. The sophomores they are playing at a pretty elite level early on in their high school career. So it will be an interesting game. I think these games against Roseville and Mounds usually are. Roseville is known for its offense. They are led by a head coach, Chris Simdorn. He was a quarterback at NDSU and a Harlan Hill Trophy Award winner. He is an incredible athlete that has now become an incredible head coach. He's brought this Roseville team to the state tournament many times. In fact, his best team advanced all the way to the semifinals before losing, I believe, to Eden Prairie. They've had some incredible athletes come through Roseville, and this is a very well-coached team. are particularly an incredible coaching staff when they've got athletes. And it sounds, according to Coach Moberg, like they have some athletes this season, and we're going to see those on display. I think to begin with, Isaiah Brown, their quarterback, they've had a lot of Browns come through here. Their dad actually is an employee of Mounds View Schools, works at Mounds View High School. And Isaiah's brother currently is a linebacker for the South Dakota Jackrabbits. So a lot of good football in that family, and Isaiah is going to lead this Roseville Raider offense against the Mustangs tonight. We're going to break for a second and enjoy the national anthem. We'll be back with you in a couple of minutes.
Conducted by Ian McKnight. Thank you, Roseville Pep Band.
Great job, Roseville Pep Band. So these injuries that we have for Mounds View, so unbelievably unfortunate. A couple of seniors doing a really great job along that. While defensive front, Molinar at linebacker, Rasmussen along that 3-4 defensive line. But this has implications for these guys later on in their senior year with other sports that they also play.
That is correct. I know John Rasmussen. He is one of the throwers for the Mounds View track and field team. And I'm not going to share the details of his injury, but I would be surprised if he is fully healed by the time that throwing season starts in March.
A lot of tweaking for him on the lower body to be able to throw the discus and shot put. So it's unfortunate. You definitely don't like to see guys in their senior year lose the opportunity to play, particularly now coming out of this pandemic, not having had much of a junior season at all, and even prior to that, a sophomore spring. So these guys have really had a hard go of it. You really want the connection that they have to their high school experience and to think back and enjoy the experience. And I'm sure there are many memories already been made of these first 4 games in the season, 5 games in the season, but it's unfortunate, and it's going to be a significant loss for the team, particularly defensively.
I believe that Mounds View is going to be kicking the ball off to the Roseville Raiders to start the game. So we'll see how that defense can hold up with some new moving parts in there.
Yep, Samuel's coming on to kick off from the 40. Looks like Tyron Jenkins and Isaac Ivy are back deep for the Raiders. They're actually going to put 3 deep. Not seen this formation before, but they've definitely got the entire field covered, all 52 yards across. Hayden Pierce is the third of the Raiders to be back deep to receive the kick. Samuel's been doing a lot of squib kicking. I would think that might continue here tonight. It might be why they have 3 deep. Samuel's kick, cornered, caught at the 20 and fumbled. That's going to be recovered by Mounds View. Unbelievable turn of events to start this game. Looked like Hayden Pierce took it right off the chest as he sprinted forward to catch the short kick. And it's recovered by the Mustangs, 1st and 10
That was a
from the
great
28-yard line.
That's really good momentum for the Mustangs. A great heads-up play by number 37 there. Saw that the ball bounced off of Pierce's chest, was able to dive straight to the ground there, not try and pick it up and run with it, made the smart decision, protect the ball, give the offense great starting position.
So both halves of this football game are going to start with the Mustangs on offense. They're going to roll 2 twin receivers to the right. That's going to be motion left by Nystrom, and it's going to be a swing out to 82. He makes the catch and is about 7 yards downfield before he's touched down. 2nd down and 3 for the Mustangs.
Tripped up by number 14 for the Raiders there. Believe that is Dominant Stenger.
Stenger's going to play both ways for this team. He's a running back and a linebacker.
One of their leading defensive players from what I've learned.
So trips now to the field side for Wark and the Mustangs. They're going to hand off here to Hendricks. It's going to be tackled after a short gain to bring up a 3rd down for the Mustangs.
That's one thing that I'm a little worried about with a new offensive lineman is how well are they going to be able to establish a run game. Linemen aren't really a position where you can just swap them around super easily, especially somebody who's been practicing at linebacker all year. So I'm interested to see how Wes Iverman holds up here.
Pitch out here to Hendricks. It's out to the numbers, meets the corner, and is up beyond the 15-yard line. That should be an easy 1st down for the Mustangs. The sticks will move, and they will have another opportunity to get a fresh set of downs prior to reaching the goal line. It'll be 1st and 10.
I would like to correct myself. That is Ivor Westerman. I knew a guy in my grade with the exact opposite name, so I'm a little confused.
Yeah, Ivor's at right tackle. We're going to get, looks like an encroachment penalty on the Raiders. In the neutral zone, caused movement up front for the Mustangs.
Just gave the center a little nudge there, little love tap. That would be number 71, Corleone Davis, a senior for Roseville, who is 6'1", 350 pounds. That is going to be a big guy causing problems up front there.
So that'll move us up inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and 5 from the 9. Wark's got 4 wide receivers with Hendricks to his left. This is going to be a handoff on an inside zone play. Hendricks going to get up to about the 6-yard line.
Solid dive play there. Especially when you have a 1st and 5 situation, you can afford to take a 2-yard dive up the middle. Give yourself a 2nd and short here. Don't want to lose yards, especially when you're now starting your drive really within the 10-yard line.
So out far to the left of Wark is Dylan Wheeler. Nystrom inside of him. He's going to look for Dylan in the end zone, and that is a touchdown. Wheeler, touchdown Mustangs.
That was a great inside move by Wheeler there. He had made a 1 step out before cutting it inside, created a little bit of separation there between him and the D-back, and Wark was able to plant his feet and really put the ball right into the chest plate of Wheeler there. Wheeler was not going to let go of that ball.
So just as the Mustangs did last week, they convert a turnover by the opposing team early to start the game into a touchdown. 6-0 with the extra point pending here from Samuel. Wark is our holder. Snap is good. Kick is up. And it also is good. 7-0 Mounds View early. Just a few ticks off the clock. 9:29 remaining here in the first quarter. And the Mustangs take a 7-0 lead.
That is a really great start for a momentum-heavy team like the Mustangs. We've really seen them, when they get going, be able to overrun teams. They build leads by piling on play after play after play. So an early turnover and turning it into 7 points could be big in a potentially tight game like this one.
I thought the Mustangs played incredibly well against a very solid Anoka Tornado team last week. It's an unfortunate loss. They've had 2 of them this year. This Mounds View team has played incredibly well. Both White Bear and Anoka were very close games that they ended up on the wrong side of, unfortunately. But that is not to say that this hasn't been a highly competitive Mustang team. They've been in almost every game they've played. Really, the only game where things got out of hand was Osseo, and that was a bit of a surprise too. It was an off game mechanically from the quarterback, but I think since then they've really put together some nice offensive plays, really through the air. This team throws a heck of a lot more than they run the football. The yards show it. They've got almost 1,000 more yards passing than they do rushing. But they've also done a really nice job on defense as the Mustangs. It'll be interesting here to finally get that defense out on the field. Here's the kick from the 40 from Samuel. Very similar spot. It's going to be fielded again at the 10-yard line. Different returner this time. And a nice return to the 30-yard line. Looks like Stenger brought it back.
Great return by Stenger. They moved him out from the middle over to where Samuel's right side would be because they figured that's where he would want to kick it. Looks like he brought it out to about the 35-yard line. So it's not getting the ball on your opponent's 28, but that is still solid field position to start off this first offensive drive for the Raiders here.
Man, that Stenger kid looks big. He's only 6 foot 185, but he plays big. He was a load coming through on that kick return. He's going to be one of the running backs they feature for the Raiders. Looks like they've got Isaiah Brown at quarterback. Out of the shotgun with motion from Stenger. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. And Abed in on the tackle.
Looked like a design draw play there. You could tell they were trying to get the Mustangs with the jet sweep fake there. Then they faked another one to, I believe, is number 3. But again, the Mustangs were just well coached there. They knew that Isaiah Brown has the most rushing attempts on the Raiders offense. So figured that Roseville might like to go to their bread and butter and run him early and often.
So Roseville with trips to the field side. They're going to throw it here on a wide receiver screen. That's going to, again, be, it looked like Isaac Ivy actually with the catch.
That was a great open field tackle there by Jack Kelly. Tackled for a loss, bringing up about a 3rd and 12 here. One thing I'm noticing is how low the snaps are from the Roseville center. Isaiah's always putting his hands about where his knees are. So in a tough game like this, I know it's supposed to start raining around 9 p.m. here. If it gets wet and the ball's already low, we might start to see some miscommunications with the quarterback in the center here.
So 3rd and long, Roseville behind the sticks here. They've got a wing and 2 wide receivers to the left with motion left, and they're going to be offsides. Yep, that's going to be a false start against Roseville.
I don't know that we're going to get a number on that, but it looked like somebody on the O-line saw Mounds feigning heat up the middle. Got a little antsy, moved just a little bit. That's going to back him up.
3rd down and 17.
So 3rd down and 17 now. Well behind the sticks are the Raiders. Couple mistakes here to start the game for Roseville. That's Isaiah Brown. That's going to be sacked by Mitchell Thompson on a big 3rd down play, again behind the line of scrimmage. Roseville only going backward, and that is going to force a Raider punt.
That is about one situation that has defined this Raiders offense right now. They are averaging just over 6 punts per game. So this is going to be the first of the night. Just about 7 minutes left in the first quarter.
So Roseville will punt from their own 10-yard line. This a shallow punt. It's going to land on the 45 and bounce the Mustangs' way up to about
41,
the
42.
41 or 42-yard line. Yep.
The Mustang offense takes over 1st and 10.
That could have been a big disaster. The snap went almost clear over the head of the Roseville punter. He had to jump and use one hand to corral that back down before getting the punt off, which could have resulted in, honestly, 7 points for the Mustangs there. Fortunately, he got it off for the Raiders. So instead of getting the ball on their own 10 and having to defend, you get it about the 41-yard line.
So series number 2 for this Mustang offense. If you joined us late, they recovered a fumble on the opening kickoff and found Pater work to Wheeler to begin the game. This is going to be a handoff to Hendricks on an inside zone play. About a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 for the Mustangs.
Good tackle. Looks like it's number 16 or 18 there. Number 18. Bringing up a 2nd and 8 here.
That was Dan Cheetah making that stop for the Raiders.
So trips to the right. Hendricks and Wheeler to the left of Warwick. He's going to throw right, and it's going to be a low pass, incomplete, intended for Nystrom.
Looks like the Mustangs might have a new receiver in there. Number 80. Not a player that I've seen a lot of this season.
Also not listed here on the roster that we have. Try to get his name once he catches a pass because I'm sure they've got it down in the booth. So Mounds flips the side for their 3 wide receiver set. They've got Wheeler to the boundary. Work looks left and throws left deep. Intended for Nystrom, who looked to be double covered, but a couple Mounds receivers in the vicinity drawing additional coverage. Incomplete nonetheless. It'll be 4th down and 8 for the Mustangs.
I'm interested to see if the Mustangs are going to go for it. You already have a 7-point lead. You are on the opposing side of the field. Looks like they're going to send out the punt unit, though. Don't want to take any chances, giving Roseville any better field position. One thing we've seen last week especially is how precise Samuel can be off of his punts.
He had an incredible week last week against Anoka. That was some of the best special teams play we've seen all year. Snap is high, and it is partially blocked. Then it's touched by Moundsview, which is a dangerous play because Roseville can pick it up, and no matter what happens, they can return it. Even if they fumble, it's still their ball. There is a flag down, I think, because Moundsview intentionally.
I don't think you can bat the ball backwards.
Right, correctly. They pooched that ball backward a little bit. So not a great turn of events. You almost wish they would have gone for it, not knowing it was going to be blocked. But the snap was high, and Samuel had to make an adjustment, reset his feet, and it took a little bit too long to get that punt off. Partial block brought it to about.
Right now it's setting about the 26, but I'm assuming that they're calling it something against the Mustangs, which is going to be at least 5. They might call it a personal foul, which could be 15 yards for the Raiders there.
So it's illegal touching is the penalty. But I'm not exactly sure what that means for yardage, especially given we're not entirely sure where the ball was initially touched by the Moundsview defender.
Is this a spot foul or end of the play? Looks like it's a spot foul right now.
Kids love the "you can't do that" cheer.
I hate that cheer.
So it's going to be up around midfield, about the 48-yard line where Roseville will take over. I think that's probably actually better than where the initial line of scrimmage was on that 4th down play.
It was.
So it'll be
Go ahead.
1st and 10 from the 48-yard line for the Raiders in their second series on offense. Lots of mistakes. They were well behind the sticks when all things were said and done in that first series. So be interesting to see if Roseville can come out and execute a few plays here, stay on sides, and put together a bit of a drive against this Mustangs defense. All right, so now Roseville comes out in a pistol formation. This is Brown handing off. What looked like a simple dive play, maybe an inside zone play for the Raiders.
Gained about 1 or 2 there.
1 yard gain on the play.
2nd and 9.
Brought down by a swarm of Mustangs. on that D-line.
One thing that stood out to me there is just how many Mustangs were in that pile. As soon as they saw where the ball was, there was the entire herd right on the ball.
That's what they coach. So an empty look here with motion on the jet sweep. This is a great play for the Raiders, but there is a penalty. Looked like a hold around the corner there. But that's Isaac Ivy all the way up to the 30-yard line.
And that would be big if it takes away a 20-yard gain from the Raiders and turns it into a 10-yard loss on the penalty.
You can see Roseville could exploit the perimeter here. That's what Osseo did to this Mounds View team. Guarantee you this coaching staff watched a lot of film. They've got 5 weeks now worth of film to watch. And they have some speed to get to that perimeter, which they showed there. But it does look like a 10-yard holding penalty right along the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 2nd and 19 from the 39-yard line for the Raiders. Roseville really needs to play mistake-free. You can see a little bit, in addition to that tough schedule they've played, why they've struggled to put any wins on the board. This is going to be a one-step drop from Brown. It's going to be complete out to about the 46-yard line. That pass completed number 6, Pacheco.
That was Gabe Pacheco catching that pass from Isaiah Brown.
So still behind the sticks, 3rd and 12.
Game 6 on the play.
This could be big for Roseville right now. Even though they got called back by penalties, they've seen that they can get the ball downfield, which isn't something that they've necessarily been able to do in their past few games. So this could be a confidence booster to get this first down here.
So again, an empty backfield with 2 wings, max protection. Brown's going to roll out to the right. He looks downfield. That's almost picked and then almost caught. But incomplete, bringing up a 4th down and a punting situation for Roseville.
That looked like a play that was going to be out of Madden, where it bounces off of 3 different guys before the receiver finally catches it and runs it 30 yards downfield. Fortunately for the Mustangs, he wasn't able to hold on to that one. 4th and 12, another punt for the Roseville Raiders here.
Another whistle here just prior to the snap.
Ref signaling false start.
Early movement by the Roseville Raiders moves the ball back 5 yards.
I thought that might have been an offsides on the Mustangs there. We have had a handful of those on punt situations that have extended opposing drives.
Back deep for the Mustangs.
But instead, it's just another little mental error there for the Raiders.
So both series here for the Raiders are going to be punts with a long distance from the line of scrimmage. This one was 4th and 17. Nystrom's going to pick this up off a bounce. He's going to return left out to the numbers. Tries to make a cut back inside, but he's going to be tackled there. Be 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line for the Mustangs.
Taken down by number 26, James Darling there. Another sophomore for the Roseville Raiders.
Nice open field tackle by number 26, James Darling. 1st and 10, Mounds View.
Let's look to see how the Mustangs come out here. The first drive, they had a lot of success. Really, everything worked. But then they were met with some adversity on that second drive. If I'm the Mustangs, I really need to put this one together, hopefully put up some points before the end of the quarter.
So 4:15 here remaining in the first quarter. Mustangs up 7-0. Got a bunch of trips to the right. This is going to be a handoff to Hendricks, who's tackled high around the shoulders and neck after what was a short gain for Hendricks.
That's just a big man up front, number 71, Corleone Davis, 350 pounds. If the Mustangs want to run up the middle, they're going to have to find a way to move him one way or the other. Make a hole, because right now, a big guy like that, he can just reach out an arm, and his mass will be able to bring down a smaller back like Hendricks there.
So that actually was number 49 for the Mustangs. They subbed Hendricks out to start this series. That must be another sophomore playing up.
I think that's the freshman, Mitchell Olson.
Wow, freshman playing running back on Friday night. That's amazing. Wark going to throw incomplete, intended for Nystrom on a slant route. That well covered by the Raiders. So the incomplete pass brings us to 3rd and 7 from the 34-yard line.
That was a block by number 21 there for the Raiders. Great defense, because Nystrom, when he is not hit as he's catching the ball, he more often than not catches the ball. Been one of the top receivers here for the Mustangs. A nice compliment to number 4, Dylan Wheeler, who he's lined up next to now.
So 2 wide receivers to either side of Wark. He's going to look right. He's going to throw out to Wheeler, which is caught, but tackled immediately at the 35-yard line, well short of the sticks. So another punting situation here for Mounds. Wheeler comes up hobbled. Looks like that left leg, left ankle area maybe tweaked a little bit. Wheeler's going to go down. Going to be an injury timeout here as the Mustangs tend to their starting wide receiver.
And that's not good, because Wheeler is one of those guys who's been playing 2 ways for us. He's also playing cornerback. And if he's not in cornerback, Roseville has been unusually pass heavy right now. Might look to target the replacement there.
So a slow-moving first quarter. After a turnover on the initial kickoff, the Mustangs hit Dylan Wheeler on a slant route from about 12 yards out for a touchdown. We've had no scoring, just back and forth on punts since then. Roseville playing with a lot of mistakes here early that have set them behind the sticks. Penalties like holding and offsides have really hindered them, but you can see they have some juice on offense. They're able to exploit the perimeter and get downfield. They ran one stretch play on a jet sweep to the outside. To me, that looks like what will get them downfield should they go back to that well. We're going to see a punt here from Samuel. The last one was a high snap that was blocked by the Raiders. Looks like Isaac Ivey is back deep for Roseville. Samuel, good snap, good kick, line drive. Caught by Ivey on the run. He's going to break one tackle and get up to the 40-yard line.
Taken down by Nick Shaw there, number 9. He was another dude who had a great game against Anoka. He was the one who downed 2 of those punts from Samuel that were within the 10-yard line.
First and 10, Roseville at their own 40.
While it is good to see Dylan Wheeler walked off on his own power, for an already injury-plagued Mustangs team, that is just about the worst case scenario, I'd say.
So 1st and 10 for the Roseville. That's Ivy in motion. They're going to come back on a counter play to the left. Evan Hatton in on the tackle, along with Abed and Ivor Westerman.
That was great counter blocking by number 56, Austin Novotny, a junior. He really sold going one way, but then cracked back on a DN for the Mustangs and really opened the hole up the middle, giving a nice 4-yard gain.
That's Ivy in motion again. This time it's going to be a quarterback keeper. Brown finding no room to run. Stopped just at the line of scrimmage. Be 3rd down and 6 for the Raiders. This their best series thus far. To only be 6 yards behind that first down marker is a win for them.
I think a lot of that was great penetration by the Mounds U D line. I'm looking specifically at number 55. I believe that's West Berlin. Got well into the Roseville backfield there.
So offset eye to the left for the Raiders. They're going to look to throw the swing pass to Ivy. He catches it. He's up to the numbers, up beyond the 45. First down, Roseville.
And no flag on the play, which is big.
Ivy looks like he's got some wheels. 6'1", 155-pound wide receiver and D-back.
The long and lean players. I want to see how Mounds U can adjust. We've seen them have great success blocking the inside running, but we see Roseville here. They want to get to the outside. How is Mounds U going to be able to contain that?
Brown back in an empty set. Ivy in motion, fakes the jet sweep. They're going to throw a slant route. That's high, intended for Pacheco.
Looked like there was some pressure by Edelman there, number 6. Coming off the edge.
Yeah, Mounds U looks like they're blitzing whenever they go in motion on that jet sweep. Edelman's got no one out in the flats to cover. He releases and forces a quick throw from Isaiah Brown, incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 43. Amazing how often Roseville goes empty. Brown, no drop, catches the snap, throws immediately on a curl route. That Pacheco just shy of the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Raiders. They got lots of options here. They can go for it if they don't get it.
That is definitely what I would recommend in this situation of the game. I don't think they're going to be in field goal range, but a punt from this distance, you run the risk of punting it into the end zone, putting it back on the 20-yard line. At that point, you're almost better just running the play.
So Pacheco to the left with Ivy in motion. It's going to be handed off on a run play. That's going to be shy of the first down. So Roseville's going to have to make a decision here as what they want to do. I suspect they'll go for it here on 4th and 1. The quarter is going to run out likely before they run a play. So we'll flip sides here. Down under 20 seconds now remaining in the quarter. Roseville's going to huddle up and decide what they want to do.
One play that I would look for from Roseville here is a QB boot. We've seen them fake the jet sweep and follow the QB up the middle. But what I'm looking for here is to have Isaiah Brown fake the jet sweep and then follow his sweep man, his wing back, try and get to the edge with a lead blocker, full steam ahead there.
The Roseville Raiders 0.
It's remarkable how much this Roseville offense has changed over the years. Simdorn has been the head coach since 2001. When he started, they were running midline and veer. A lot of power and ISO. They switched to more of a spread look, had a lot of success with that change. Jeff Hurdle a huge influence on offense for this team. He was a quarterback for Concordia. This is just a really good staff that's been together for a long time. 3 core coaches, Mike Grant as defensive coordinator, Chris Sindorn as head coach, and Jeff Hurdle as an offensive mind for the Raiders. And of course, that kind of continuity is what Moberg's trying to establish here with his coaching staff for the Mustangs. He's got a number of years under his belt now as head coach with some continuity among the coordinators he's got.
So Roseville is going to go for it here.
All right, 4th and 2. Moundsy looks like they wanted to bring Westerman on a blitz. He was picked up, flagged down. Not sure what the call here is. It's going to be timeout Roseville. They must have saw that Moundsy wanted the blitz, didn't like the play they had called. Good use of a first half timeout. This is a big play for Roseville. 4th and 2 from the 35. So despite the break they had at the quarter, they're going to take another one. Simdorn out in the huddle with the team.
I think I see what the Roseville coaches saw. Evan Hatton, there was no one on him, so he was able to cheat down. Roseville was going to run that QB bootleg that I was suggesting, but they saw Evan Hatton really licking his chops, unblocked, had a free shot to go screaming down the line and lay a shoulder on their quarterback there. That might have saved their drive.
That's a good call from the booth because that's something they're obviously looking at.
It's 4th down and 2.
All right, so we do it again. We're going to line up. Brown with a running back to his right. Motion here from Ivy. It is going to be a quarterback keeper on the right edge, and he's going to be tackled right at the sticks.
I just said his name, but Evan Hatton came around that backside, got a hand on Brown's ankles there. Nearly brought him down, but Brown is an athletic quarterback, was able to keep it around the edge, keep his balance, keep his body moving forward, and get that first down for the Raiders offense here.
At the Mustang 32-yard line.
So Brookins checks out. And 14, Dom Stenger in for the Raiders. It's going to be another empty backfield with 2 wings and a 1-step drop. Dangerous pass there as Evan Hatton came underneath. Ball intended for Pacheco. Falls incomplete. Be 2nd and 10 from the 32-yard line.
Falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
It's kind of surprising to me how much Roseville is choosing to pass right now. Maybe they want to get Manziu looking past, trying to get them back on their heels so they can hit them with those jet sweeps and those outside runs that we've seen be effective early. Or maybe they just see that the Manziu passing defense has a little bit of holes that they think they can exploit.
Pacheco and Ivy to the left of Brown is going to fake it and keep it himself. He's going to be wrapped up and tackled by Evan Hatton well behind the line of scrimmage. So a 3 or 4 yard loss there.
Although he didn't make the tackle, number 55 for us, I believe that's West Berlin, got great pressure, great penetration on the offensive line there. Brown actually ran into the butt of his offensive lineman, who Berlin had pushed backwards, allowing Evan Hatton to make that tackle for like a loss of 5 there.
So 3rd down and 14. Common refrain here for it to be 3rd down with a lot of yards to go. 3-step drop, and they're going to sling it deep. Brown downfield, incomplete. Pretty good throw there, but not able to make the play. 4th and 14 now from the 37 for the Raiders.
That was a deep ball. Brown has got an arm.
Intended receiver is Tommy Adeniyi.
Adeniyi, the intended receiver on the play. We were waiting for the announcer to say that name.
Stinger in to punt for the Raiders.
Adeniyi now going to be a gunner for this Raider punt team. They will punt to the Mustangs from their 37. This too looked blocked.
Definitely blocked by Fallen, but number 18 for the Raiders fell on it. Evan Hatton. I knew it was going to come one of these games. He has been super close to blocking him in the Forest Lake game, in the Osseo game, and even in the Anoka game. So it was just a matter of time until he got his hands in the right place.
He just looked faster than anyone else on the field. A lot more effort there from Hatton than there was from any of the Roseville players. Big time block. What amounts to a turnover for the Mustangs. They're going to get the ball on their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. 10-11 remaining in the half. Mustangs up 7-0. Wart going to hand off to Hendricks on an inside zone play. He's met hard after a short gain.
Number 18 for the Raiders. Same guy who was able to recover that blocked punt.
Brought down by the linebacker, Cheetah.
So that's Cheetah wearing a different number, I think, than initially given here on the roster sheet. Cheetah, I think, is a captain for this Raider football team. That was a heck of a hit. Looks like Raskin Nystrom to the left of Wark. It's going to be a pitch to Hendricks. Out wide. Pretty good block there by Nystrom. But Hendricks going to be chased down by Hayden Pierce.
Still only going to amount to about a gain of 2 or 3 yards there.
3rd down and 7.
3rd and 7 for these Mustangs here.
Looks like Edelman is in at a Y or a tight end position for the Mustangs. Wheeler is not in, so they are down a wide receiver and a good one at that. Try to get some ideas to what the injury is or the prognosis for Wheeler in terms of his return. We've got twins to the right with Edelman in at a wing. They're going to send everybody out. Wark takes a 3-step drop, throws deep. He's got Nystrom down the middle. Nystrom, 5-10, touchdown! Wark to Nystrom. A 46-yard touchdown strike. A seam route down the middle. No doubter for Nystrom. He caught it at about the 10-yard line, and he was gone.
Just burned his man deep there. Wark was able to get the cannon under that one, air it out, let his man run under it, catch it on the run there. Great connection by those two.
Samuel's kick is good. Mustangs lead 14-0 with 8:43 here remaining in the first half.
Aside from that one big play at the end there, Roseville has played a pretty solid half of defensive football right now. I know the score says 14-0, but when you get the first possession of the game on your own 28-yard line, that's really hard to make a stop. But since then, we have been able to limit the Mustangs to only 7 points.
Interesting formation with Edelman in, lining up as a wing. It looked more like a run formation, but there was no fake. That was just a 3-step drop from Wark and a great seam route, wide open. Nystrom. Just such an impressive sophomore. You forget that kid is, 15 and playing his first time ever on a Friday this season. He's been a starter since the beginning of the year, and he has shined for the Mustangs.
See again a 3-man returning core for the Raiders there.
Jenkins, Ivy, and Pierce back to receive Samuel's kickoff.
Jenkins, Ivy, and Pierce back deep for the Raiders. Samuel's kick to the left is going to be fielded by like number 5, Jenkins.
Michael Jenkins on the return out to the 29-yard line.
Raiders will take over 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line.
For the Mustangs. 1st and 10 Raiders from their own 29-yard line.
I'm interested to see how the Raiders offense comes out here. Although they did end up having to punt, which ended up being a block punt at that, but they were able to get a couple first downs. They were starting to move the ball on the Mounds View defense here. Maybe they'll find the groove that they've been looking for here early and might be able to put up a few points on the board before the end of the half here.
Brown going to throw a screen pass here. Complete, but tackled early. Dominic Stenger with the reception. About a 1 or 2 yard gain for the Raiders.
Tackled there by Abdullah Abed and Jack Kelly coming down.
3 yards.
Check that, a 3 yard gain. So 2nd, 7 or 8. Pacheco out wide to Brown's left. He's got an offset eye to the right with motion. This is going to be handed off on a jet sweep. That's Ivy. It's a nice spin move to get upfield. He's up to about the 40-yard line. That might be enough for a Raider first down.
Ran right through the arms of 86 Colin Elliott there.
Looks like they're going to mark him much shorter. He must have stepped out of bounds along that sideline. So 3rd and 2 for the Raiders. But again, you see they can get to the perimeter, and with their speed, they're able to break, contain, and get upfield. They just have not exploited their ability to do that. I imagine that's something they are going to start seeing. Roseville loves this double wing look out of shotgun. This is going to be Brown again on a quarterback keeper.
And that should be enough to move the chains.
First down.
Yep, looks like it is. The 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Clock should stop as the chains get set. It has not.
One thing, if I'm Mounds View, I would do right now is just widen my outside linebackers out a little bit so they can get upfield and force those sweeping Raiders to come up the middle where the rest of your Mustang defenders are. Right now we're a little narrow, and that's why they're able to get outside.
Ivy, who typically runs that jet motion, is out wide deep. They're going to throw an out route. That complete to Adenyi. About a 5 or 6 yard gain for the Raiders. So a nice positive play on first down. They're driving here now, exploiting the perimeter and the flats. And actually an 8 yard gain. So 2nd and 2. Lots of options here for the Raiders when they get such positive yardage on first down.
I don't know if Roseville is directly targeting it, but you can really feel the lack of Dylan Wheeler playing coverage in those flats there.
So Adenyi and Brookins now in motion. This is going to be a handoff, though. Edelman with the tackle right at the first down marker, right at midfield.
And they mark it as a first down.
So that'll be another first down for the Raiders.
Great power running by the captain, who is now wearing number 18.
That's Cheetah, yep.
You can really see these Raiders are hitting the hole well up the middle. Guys are lowering the shoulder. Just keep moving their legs even after contact. You see them regularly getting 1 to 2 yards after being stuffed by the pile there.
They must have changed Cheetah's number. He's a linebacker. He's number 55 to 18, so he could be eligible. He's still in at running back. Brown's going to look left, scramble to the right, break a tackle. You can see he's got some speed and power. That an 8 or 9 yard gain for the Raiders. They're threatening here inside Mustang territory. Be 2nd and 2.
That was just great pocket awareness by Brown there. He looked to both sides of the field, saw good coverage by the Mustangs, knew that he was getting pressured, saw an open hole and decided to run for it. That's going to be about a 2nd and 7 or 2nd and 3 there, a 7-yard gain up the middle.
Raiders come out now in an empty with 2 wings, twins to the left. But a one-step drop here from Brown, who throws it complete. Fenning went on the coverage, but that's going to be enough for a Raider first down. That ball complete to Pacheco.
Now that they've stopped committing those mental errors, those false starts, those holdings, the Raiders' offense is finding their rhythm here. They are making good plays. They are playing smart. They're getting to the edge. They are making those catches in contested situations. The Raiders' offense is looking very good right now.
That was a good throw from Brown. I mean, that was to the flat on an out route. He zipped it there on a line. Adenyi out far to the right. Of course, the quarterback, Brown, comes out in pistol. That Brookins in motion is going to be handed off here to Cheetah. Swarmed by a herd of Mustangs after a 2 or 3 yard gain for the Raiders.
About a 1 yard gain on the play.
One thing I'm seeing is in these pile situations, the Raiders' offensive line is really coming to the occasion, rising to the occasion, and they're keep pushing the pile forward. The running backs are staying on their feet, keeping their feet moving, and the linemen are providing the mass there to push the pile an extra 2 yards at the end of the play there.
Roseville going to bunch to the boundary side with 2 twin receivers. That's Brookins again in motion. They're going to fake the jet sweep to him, roll out to the right. Brown under trouble, throws for Ocheco, incomplete, kind of behind and high. He was open, but an incomplete pass and a 3rd down coming here for the Raiders.
Looked like that was some pressure there by Mitchell Thompson for the Mustangs. The Raiders were pulling out a man to provide protection on that bootleg, but Mitchell was able to push one of the linemen back a little bit, which stopped the man from being able to pull out correctly. And so Brown obviously didn't feel very comfortable there and decided to throw the ball and didn't make as accurate of a pass as we've seen him do earlier in this game.
So 3rd down and about 7 for the Raiders. Brookins, the tailback behind Brown, and they're going to call a timeout. The 2nd timeout for the Raiders this half. 3:20 remaining in the 2nd quarter. Mustangs up 14-0. Couple touchdown passes from Wark. The first to Wheeler. The second to Nystrom. Mustangs doing a great job through the air tonight.
If I'm the Raiders, right now what I look for is one of those jet sweeps that they've been running. One thing that's a little uncharacteristic about these is that they're willing to run their jet sweeps to the short side of the field as well. So even though they are on the left hash, I wouldn't be surprised to see them try and run a sweep to the left side here.
Again, I think they also have 2 plays here. They may want to punt if they don't get it, just because they're down 2 scores and they don't want to give the Mustangs another opportunity here. It is going to be Mounds football to start the 2nd half. But I think they have 2 plays here.
I think a lot of that also depends on how many yards they get here. If it's less than 5 yards to go on 4th down, I would go for it. But if you don't gain any yards or end up losing yards, I would punt the ball in this situation.
Ooh, high snap. This is going to be a reverse, and it's going to be fumbled. Mitchell Thompson with immediate pressure. The Mustangs tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Ivor Westerman was in on that.
Looked like they tried to run a reverse there to number 13.
That's Ivy. Isaac Ivy.
But as you're saying, might have been a bit of a missed snap.
4th and 9. 4th and 10.
Looks like they're going to be going for it. They're bringing Brown back in to deliver the play call here.
So 4th and 9 from the 35-yard line for the Raiders. 2:35 with the clock ticking. Ivy's going to switch sides, line up to the left of Brown. One-step drop, Brown's going to deliver, and that's going to be incomplete and picked off by Mitchell Thompson. Mitchell Thompson with a tip drill interception on 4th down. They wouldn't have had the first down had Thompson not intercepted it, but nonetheless, it is Mounds View's football. 2:18 to go here in the second quarter. Be 1st and 10 from about the 30-yard line for the Mustangs.
Always love when a big fella gets to make a play like that. Usually they're only forcing fumbles up the middle, but tip drill situation, right place at the right time. Get the glory and interception on your stat line. That feels good.
So a really great opportunity here for the Mustangs to bury this Raider team early. They could go up 3 scores and have the football to start the second half. A lot of success through the air, particularly deep. 46-yard touchdown up the seam to Nystrom on the last series to give this Mustangs a 2-touchdown lead. Work's got Nystrom out to his left.
Looked
This
like
is going to be a short game, yeah.
To Mitchell Olson.
Mitchell Olson, yes, the freshman. I was trying to see who was lined up next to Nystrom to start that play. So that was Rask.
2nd down and 9.
And I don't believe that's Vaz. There's a number 2 out here in the 3 wide receiver set to the left of Work. Henricks also left. They're going to throw a screen pass to Henricks. Got to beat 2 Roseville men. He cuts inside, but is tackled from behind. Nice recovery there by number 51, Acosta.
Looks like that's going to be about a 3rd and 5 coming up here.
1:24 with the clock still running. Remaining here in the second quarter.
If I'm Roseville right now, there's about a minute 15 left. I'm going to drop a couple guys into deep coverage there because right now there's no over-the-top support for those top 2 receivers.
Nystrom looks left, but he's going to throw or run to the right. He's still got his eyes downfield. He hits Rask on the run. Rask is up and out of bounds around the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 Mustangs, 51 seconds remaining.
Coverage and making the tackle for the Raiders. Devontae Clinton.
Looks like they're subbing out a big man so they can have another man deep there.
1st and 10. Under a minute to go.
So right around the point at which they were able to hit Nystrom last series. They're on the 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Work's going to take a 3-yard drop. Screen pass to Henricks, snuffed out early. That's a good play because no one else was around. Henricks tackled after a short gain.
Yeah, number 52 there for the Raiders. Great discipline. Mac Dungy there.
Hey, Roseville fans, make sure you stick around for halftime. Immediately at the beginning of halftime.
So a timeout here with 46 seconds remaining and a 2nd and 9 from the 43 for the Mustangs.
When you take another food drive, will be announced.
This is what the Mustangs usually have done in these 2-minute and under situations. Try and get screens, get down the field. But at this point, I'm going to start looking to connect with my receivers deep. With Wheeler out, Nystrom is the guy that defenses should be keying on. But then that leaves Rask open, as we saw down the sideline here.
Second down and 8. We resume play.
Three wide receivers to Work's left. He looks to the right. He's got Rask open on a slant route. That's going to be caught and complete. Should stop the clock with a first down. The chains are going to move. Mustangs will line up quickly here. They do still have 2 timeouts remaining. Clock already starts despite the fact that the chains have not set. Down underneath 30 seconds now. Work passes out to the left. That's going to be tackled inbounds.
Quarterback Works pass is complete.
Number 2. That might actually be Vaz. I heard that they were going to be moving him to a more receiving set here so they could keep Henricks running the ball. He looks like he's...
So Vaz is back, but you can tell he's a little banged up. He's hobbling on that ankle. Walking back to the sideline for what is Mounds View's second timeout. They've got 1 remaining with 21 seconds. And they've got a 2nd and 5 from the 23-yard line. So definitely within striking distance are the Mustangs. Little payback last week with no time left on the clock. Anoka scored to go into the half. It'd be nice to see that table turn a little bit here for this Mustang squad.
And another thing is, if you do lose the next 2 plays and don't get a first down, you have a great kicker on the Mounds View team, Ben Samuel, who we have seen he does have the leg to make a kick from this distance. I don't know if this is true, but I believe that he is actually going to play for Iowa State as a kicker next year. So just a little bit of his pedigree as a kicker.
That's impressive. All right, so here the Mustangs go. Work with a quick drop and a slant across the middle. That Fenning went, catches at the 10-yard line. 15 seconds, the clock stops for the first down. Mustangs get set immediately. They're keeping that timeout. They're going to spike it here. Work under center. That rarely happens. He's going to spike it down with 11 and a half seconds remaining in the first half. 2nd and 10 from the 10. So great coaching, great execution there. They get a slant route. Really a great first half through the air for Warwick. He is on target. Mustang's going to take a shot at the end zone here. Rask and Nystrom to Warwick's left. And that's where he's looking. He's going to roll to the left. He delivers. Touchdown, Mustangs! Nystrom with his 2nd touchdown this quarter. And the Mustangs from 10 yards out find pay dirt here with 5 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. They take a 3-touchdown lead.
Nystrom really does make great catches in the corner of the end zone. He is really good at keeping his feet down where it is clearly visible to the refs that he is inbounds.
Extra point is up, and a great kick again from Samuel. 21-0. The Mustangs lead on the road here at Roseville with 5 seconds remaining in the first half. 3-touchdown night for Owen Wark. The first to start the game to Dylan Wheeler, who's now out with an injury. Nystrom has really stepped up at that wide receiver position really all year, but certainly tonight, Tyler Nystrom on fire. 2 touchdowns in the 2nd quarter, 1 from 46, the 2nd from 10. And the Mustangs take this 3-score lead. They will begin the 2nd half with the football. That because of a turnover to start the game that gave Wheeler that first touchdown. Roseville fumbled the initial kickoff. And Mounds View, as they have often this season, converted that turnover into 6. And they'll likely squib it here, Will Samuel, in hopes of ending this first half with a tackle on the kick return. from the 40. It is a squib. And that will likely do it. Point one. Roseville's going to have to snap it. No, they let it go to triple zeros. That's going to do it for the first half. The Mustangs lead 21-0. We're going to take a break. We'll be with you in about 15 minutes. Enjoy halftime, everybody. We are back for the second half. Mounds Mustangs at Roseville High School tonight, leading 21-0. They're going to return the second half kick. The beneficiaries of a first half fumble to start this game. The Mustangs scored 7 very quickly in the first quarter, and they're going to have a chance here to start with the football on offense and go up 4 scores. Mustangs, a very impressive first half, both offensively and defensively. They turned the 1 turnover from the Raiders into that touchdown. They score 3 times through the air. No turnovers for the Mustangs. They did have a punt that got blocked, and then they also blocked a punt. Evan Hatton come flying in. This is a short kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 13-yard line. That looks like Fenning went up to just shy of the 30. Be 1st and 10 from about the 29-yard line for the Mustangs.
Yeah, if the Mustangs can go up by 4 touchdowns here, that is pretty much going to be the end of the game. With how many injuries that we've seen this season from the Mustangs, me personally, I wouldn't want to risk our starters' health right now, especially with a lot of those guys up front playing both ways. Let them take a week to recover before the tough Stillwater game at home next week.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks of this regular season, Stillwater and Maple Grove, some pretty tough games at home for this Mustang squad. This is going to be a pitch to Hendricks. He fumbles the toss. He fumbles as he picks it up. That's going to be Roseville's ball. 1st and 10 inside the 20. A red zone fumble for the Raiders. That a huge turn of events for them. Interesting to have the tale of 2 halves. Mounds U did this to the Raiders early. They get them right back here to start the third quarter.
They're going to spot that right on the 20-yard line. And if I'm Roseville, I am very excited. Not only do you get the ball on the Mounds U 20-yard line, but their offense was starting to make progress at the end of that first half. They were able to drive the ball downfield. They cut out some of those penalties. So this could be a great opportunity for them to put on the first points of the board.
Brown breaks the huddle. Pacheco out to his left. Adenyi to his right. Pistol formation. They run that counter jet sweep. It's going to be tackled immediately.
Great stick by 86, Colin Elliott, the sophomore there.
Nice job from the safety position coming up, snuffing out that counter play.
Way to stay contained there. Great discipline. A good open field tackle. He didn't lunge. He set his base really well, drove through contact. That's going to be about a 1-yard loss there. 2nd and 11 for the Raiders.
So a wing and twins to the left. It's going to be handoff here. That Brookins, he's going to try to make the edge. He does cut in. He's close to a first down up to the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal, Raiders.
Tackle made by Jack Kelly there. Looked like he had to shed a block to get down. But unfortunately, 24, Brookins had a bit of momentum on his side, just drove Kelly downfield for about 3 yards before going out of bounds. If there is one positive, though, for the Mustangs, they did get the stop right on the 10. So this is as long of a 1st and goal as they can possibly be for the Raiders here.
Brookins now going to line up next to Brown. Trips to the right. Looks like Adenyi and Ivy out to the right. This is going to be Brookins again. And he is in for the touchdown. Jet sweep there, scores for the Raiders. With the extra point pending, they shave this lead to 15. 21-6, Mounds View, 10:23 remaining early in the third quarter. Raiders finally get on the scoreboard.
I'd be a bit concerned, though. Looks like their captain, number 54, really slow to get up after the play, kind of hobbling off the sideline.
That extra point is good. The Roseville crowd comes alive. First time tonight. They've had something to cheer about. From a 3-score lead to a 14-point lead, Mustangs will receive the ball here the second time this half. Only up 2 scores.
Almost an exact mirror of the first half.
Crazy.
Just about to the time, only 30 seconds, almost exactly on the nose, the difference.
So that's a big momentum play for Roseville coming out. And like you said, they do have some juice on offense. They were starting to figure it out, and I think that halftime adjustment, getting Brookins to the edge, I think if they get Ivy out there too, they're going to have some opportunities, is Roseville, to move this football downfield. But they do not and have not shown that they have an answer for this Mustang offense through the air.
No, Mustangs, they've been using a lot of screens to set up their deep balls to Nystrom right now. One thing I'd note is Roseville might have come out with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Abed nearly blocked the extra point, and he decided to walk back to the sideline right through all of the Roseville players. Looked like there was a little bit of a love exchange from both parties there. So you don't want one of those unsportsmanlike penalties coming to the Mustangs anytime.
Looks like Vaz back deep for the Mustangs. He's going to receive this kick return on the 15. Vaz around to the right. Tackled hard just beyond the 25-yard line. Owen Wark-led Mustang offense will take over. 1st and 10. Mustangs probably wanting to establish a ground game here. Much of their success has been through the air, very limited on the ground. That really the story of this Mustang offense all year long. They've struggled to consistently put a solid run game in place week to week. Some minor success on some draw plays. They like to run the inside zone, try to give Henricks or Vaz, when he was at the running back position, a chance to make some cuts. This looks like Owen going to be back for the Mustangs. He's the freshman, number 49. Next to Wark. Wark's going to take a 3-step drop. He's looking for a screen pass here. He finds Vaz on what looked like a shallow route coming across the field. He's going to be tackled after a short gain up to the 30-yard line. Be 2nd and 7.
I think that might have been a miscommunication because Vaz looked like he was scrambling to get into Wark's line of sight, which kind of signals to me that he was not the intended target, but was able to make a little something out of nothing there. Trying to draw him off sides.
Wark, quick pass up the seam. That was wide open in front of the safety, Brookins. I believe intended for Vaz.
I think so. He's got a pretty distinct body type out there compared to our other receivers.
3rd down and 6.
So a great idea there. Something Mustangs definitely saw they could exploit, but incomplete for Vaz. They did that last week against Anoka, really came out in that 3rd quarter, catching Nystrom up the seam. They've had some success here tonight. Nystrom, a 46-yard touchdown early in the 2nd quarter. His first of 2 scores. Trips to the right now for Wark. He looks to the right. He's going to deliver here. That's Vaz wide open on an out route. And an easy 1st down for the Mustangs.
After the catch, tackled by Brookins. That's the 1st and 10.
I don't know what Roseville can do at this point with the defensive scheme that they're running to adjust to this really passing-oriented offense here, but they've got to figure something out.
This is the freshman up the middle, breaking tackles. He's got a 1st down and 11-yard gain. That's the best run play from the Mustangs tonight.
Looks like that was the draw play that you were talking about just a couple minutes ago. That's really the first time the Mustangs have tried to run up the middle. Before that, they've tried to run Hinrichs on sweeps to really no effect. So I'm glad to see they're taking it more up the middle here.
So Olsen to the left of Wark. Rask, the single receiver to the left. This is going to be Olsen, the freshman again. Just a short gain that time, be 2nd and 9.
Looks like he ran into a brick wall in number 71, Corleone Davis there. He's exactly what you want in a nose tackle. Just a big, strong guy who can take up multiple blockers, fill the hole, and even if he gets an arm on you, just sheer mass means you're not going to really be able to run through the guy.
Wark looks to the right. That a slant route incomplete. Fenning went, the intended receiver. Check.
I don't know that that's Fenning Went.
Yeah, that's number 80. Looked like 10. We don't know who number 80 is.
So I'm going to call him John Doe. So great pass to number 80, Mr. Doe.
So Nystrom and Rask are to Wark's left. And he's going to look to the right, roll to the right. He's under pressure. He does throw incomplete. Knocked away. Good defense there. It looked like that was going to be a first down right at the sticks.
Another pass to number 80 there. Hit right as the ball got there. It's one of those things as a safety you start drooling about. Receiver not moving, arms completely over his head. He decides to raise his hips right to your shoulder level. All you have to do, put your shoulder down, hit him right in the hips, drive him out of bounds. Didn't make the catch. Exactly what you want as a safety.
So Samuel on to punt. From his own 45-yard line, Samuel's going to punt to the 10. Looks like Ivy with the return, making some moves, breaking tackles. Tough kid to bring down. He's still on his feet trying to break free, but he's going to be tackled at the 20-yard line.
Unfortunately for him, he had gotten up to about the 25, but thought he could get more yards by cutting back. Ended up losing 5 yards off of his peak of the return.
Fenning went with the tackle.
Looked like Ivy was kind of spinning like a top there. I saw him spin at least 3 times on that one return. Trying to develop his signature move.
So Roseville has to be happy with how this second half has started. They get Mounds View. They force a punt from Mounds View. Now they get 1st and 10, having already put 7 on the board this quarter. And I think they've got an idea as to what they can do now as an offense. Roseville going to keep it here with the quarterback, Mitchell Thompson, hanging on around the ankles, going to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Brown goes down. So it'll be 2nd and 12 after a 2-yard loss.
Looked like Isaiah Brown meant to hand it off to someone. He looked like he had a little bit of indecisiveness when he was standing there alone with the ball. But Thompson didn't have any indecision on that play. Saw that Brown was still stuck with the ball, chased him down for a nice sack on his resume.
Adeni and Pacheco, the 2 receivers on the outside. Brown out of gun with 2 wings. He's going to look Adeni's way. That's just a short curl route, complete up around the first down marker. Maybe going to be a yard or 2 shy.
Looks
so,
like
they're going to give him a first down there. He was close. I thought maybe it was going to be a 3rd and 1 play, but a 12-yard gain is going to give the Raiders a first down from the 31-yard line.
And I think they're looking at number 14, Diudon Raponce for the Mustangs there. I think he's in replacing the injured Dylan Wheeler.
This is going to be number 14, Dom Stenger around the left-hand side. Short gain there for the Raiders. About a second and 5 from the 36.
Interesting that they would run that sweep with Stenger when Brookins has been having such great success running the jet sweep for them. Looks to me at least that Brookins is a bit faster than Stenger is, so it's a little bit easier for him to get around the edge, but can't really complain at a 5-6 yard gain there.
Both guys play both ways, so they're probably trying to give him a little bit of a break. That's Cheetah also at the wing for the Raiders. He too plays both sides. This is going to be Brown again with a keeper. That really has not been there all night. Mustangs definitely scouted that quarterback keeper. He's got most carries for the Raiders, does Brown.
Yeah, so what I'm noticing from the Raiders offensive line right now is they aren't getting sideways movement from Mitchell Thompson. So to set up those QB draws, you got to stop the defensive linemen from getting upfield, and you need to move them laterally in order to create a hole and let your quarterback get up to the secondary.
This is going to be a handoff on a jet sweep again up the middle. That's Ivy. He's got a first down and a big gain for the Raiders. They're rolling here in the third quarter into Mounds View territory.
Just as I say, they got to get some lateral movement on Mitch Thompson there. That was a great block by number 56, the right tackle for the Raiders there. Got a nice block outwards on Thompson, opened up that hole for a big gain.
Adenyi and Stenger to the boundary side. Empty backfield. This is going to be Adenyi, and it's going to be complete. Another short curl route. It's going to move the sticks, breaks the tackle, gets upfield. 1st and 10 now from the 30-yard line for the Raiders.
I will say these Raiders have made great halftime adjustments. This third quarter has really been all Roseville.
Does look like they like Adenyi, his matchup with Raponce. Good coaches do look for replacement players, test them, see what they can bring. Raponce, good coverage there, but missed tackle. Adenyi upfield for a first down. We're going to get a timeout.
Yeah, I don't know
Roseville.
why, but Roseville was starting to sub some of their linemen out. Didn't really look like they were limping or anything, so maybe they're just trying to get them. They think they have more than 5 good linemen, so they're just trying to keep them fresh in hopes that they can continue this long drive from the 31-yard line.
Beautiful night here for football, as have been all of these Friday nights. Mounds had great luck with weather. Not so great luck with injuries. This Mustang team decimated. There were a number of really incredibly good players, mostly seniors, injured and on the bench for warm-ups tonight. And we have a few players already out this evening with a lot of game left. 4:15 remaining in the third quarter. Mustangs in a good position. They lead by 2 scores, but the Raiders are threatening. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. This is going to be another keeper from Brown. Better gain this time for the Raider quarterback. Be 2nd and short.
See, with those subs, they got a little bit smaller, faster guys on the line who are getting that first step off faster that are bigger defensive linemen. So even though they don't have as much mass as the big guys on the line, sometimes you just need to get under those big guys on the defensive line and establish where their body's going to be going.
Denny and Stenger to the right. Ivy to the left. He's been bell cow through the air and on the ground. This is going to be delivered deep. Touchdown, Roseville. Number 6, Gabriel Pacheco scores from 24 yards out, and the Raiders cut this lead to a single score. It's 21-13, pending an extra point with 3:23 remaining here in the third quarter.
One thing to note about this Raiders team is they haven't yet scored in the first quarter in any of their games, and the majority of their points come in the third and fourth quarter.
That kick is up, and it's good. We have ourselves a game. Mounds View bolted out to a 21-0 lead, and Roseville comes right back in the third quarter, scoring 14 unanswered points. So with about 17 minutes to play here in the second half, Mounds View clinging to a single touchdown lead. And their offense really has not been able to put together a sustained drive in this second half. So nice adjustments from this Roseville Raider coaching staff. Great execution from their players. They are right back in this football game, and they have the momentum.
One thing I would want to point out here is just how multifaceted that attack from the Roseville offense was. We saw a bunch of jet sweeps. We saw Brown airing it out. And we also saw Brown taking those QB draws up the middle. It's really hard as a defensive player when you have to try and cover 4 different potential attacks. And it's really good as an offense when the defense is a little indecisive, especially as an offensive lineman, to catch them off guard and open up those big holes for those jet sweeps and those QB draws.
So Roseville will kick off down just a single score. This pretty incredible third quarter for the Raiders.
Looks like the wind is messing with the ball a little bit. On the tee, it's been blown over twice. Need to send a guy to just put his finger down if it happens again.
All right, we are ready. Roseville kicks from the 40. Short squibber going to be picked up at the 30. Check that, the 25-yard line. Up to the 30 go the Mustangs.
Looks like that was Nick Shaw, number 9. One of those guys who's really made his mark on the special teams this season.
So 1st and 10 Mustangs need to see some life here on offense from Warwick and the boys. This is where you wish they had the running game that would bleed the clock a little bit. They're going to have to throw it where they have had a lot of success. But they're one of their top receivers, Dylan Wheeler, is out. They've still got Tyler Nystrom. He does lead this team in receptions. He's got 2 touchdowns tonight. Work looks his way, throws to the right. He's got Rask open downfield. Oh, and he tips it to himself, almost catches it, but it does fall incomplete. Looks like a Roseville Raider player down. That might be Ivy. Isaac Ivy is one of their top players, both offensively and defensively. He's still down around the 28-yard line, and he is not getting up. They're going to tend to him. We will have a stoppage in play as Mounds View huddles up 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Unfortunately, with the way they're tending to him, it looks like it's just a cramp. He has been one of those guys who's playing both ways right now. So not unexpected, but that could be big for Roseville depending on how long he's going to be out with this.
Yeah, he looks like he is cramping up. He's going to get up here and make his way off the field.
Somebody get that boy some Gatorade and bananas.
Exactly.
Looks like he's coming off the field with some significant help by the trainers. What I would always do in that situation is ask the lineman to go out and just carry him off the field, especially with those bad leg cramps. Sometimes it's good to just get it to the sideline so you can work on it before you try and put a lot of pressure on that leg.
Well, I hope he's not out. He's definitely a good player. It's been fun to watch. Just in the same way you don't want Wheeler to have to be sidelined. They're going to stretch him out. Are the Raider coaching staff? We'll see if Ivy's able to return here. Warwick going to take a 3-step drop. He's looking right. He's scrambling, and he's sacked.
Pressure off the edge by number 2. I believe that's Hayden Pierce.
Yep. Pierce, a good player, has made quite a few plays tonight on the defensive side of the ball. So 3rd and 18 now. This Mustang offense not been able to move the football this second half.
Which is really shocking considering how much success they had at the end of the first half. In the second quarter, they were really able to consistently move the ball downfield.
Stenger checks in for Figgins for the Raiders. It's going to be trips to the field side. Warwick's going to hand off on a draw play. Snuffed out and tackled almost immediately.
That's their captain, number 18, Daniel Cheetah.
Cheetah, yep. So these two-way players for the Raiders, they are definitely showing up both sides of the football. So 4th and 17, the Mustang punt team coming on.
An obvious punt situation here.
No question.
If you're a Mustang fan, you just really hope that this punt isn't blocked like the one in the first quarter. Because if it's another 20-yard punt, we're kicking from about our 23-yard line here. So that still wouldn't get it to midfield.
Max protection here for the Mustangs. Roseville does come. This is a good punt. It's going to land right at the 50-yard line. Take a bit of a Mustang roll. Still great field position for the Raiders. They're going to take over right around midfield, 1st and 10, down 7, with 1:18 here remaining in the third quarter.
Looked like that ball actually bounced off the back of Nick Shaw downfield. So there's a bit of a decision on where to spot the ball. Looks like they're going to spot it where it initially hit him, right on the 50-yard line.
Inadvertent touch by the Mustangs. Ball's placed at the 50. 1st and 10, Roseville.
If I'm Roseville, I'm feeling very good right now. Not only has your offense put up 2 touchdowns in this third quarter, they've been able to make good drives out of them, and their defense, which didn't have much success at all in the first half, has limited Mounds View to 2 short drives, which both end in pretty good field position for this Roseville offense.
So 1st and 10 Raiders. This Brown going to be quarterback keeper. He does move upfield quickly. This is an 11-yard gain. So Brown's starting to get going, running the football from the quarterback position. First and 10, Roseville.
Put the big fellas back in, run a good draw, just as Moundsview's been able to do. Let the defensive line up a little bit and then make them pay whichever way they go. But that was a great open field stick by Colin Elliott again. He's really good at setting his base, getting a wide stance and not letting quarterbacks get around him.
So a very nice run to start this series for the Raiders. Again, they've got two wings with twins to the left. Brown looking left, throwing right. He's got a receiver wide open. That's Ivy. Touchdown, Raiders.
It is now a 1-point game. Roseville has put up 20 unanswered points following the Mustangs putting up 21 unanswered in the first half.
This Raider team is losing their mind coming back on this Mustang team in a single quarter. 36 seconds remaining. Roseville puts up 21. Remember, Moundsview started this half with the football, up 3 scores. They fumble early on in their first series. Roseville capitalizes. They go on to score 2 more touchdowns, and this extra point has tied it. We're even, 21-21, with 12 minutes and 36 seconds remaining. What a turnaround for this Roseville Raider team.
Moundsview coaches have got to be racking their brains right now, figuring out what adjustments they can make to stop this surging Roseville team right now. That is 21 points in this first quarter alone. The first quarter of the second half. There's still 36 seconds on the clock here. I don't know what the coverage plan was on that touchdown pass, but there was no real Mustang defender who was reasonably close to that receiver there.
Just a deep post route, right split the safeties. Ivy comes back off the injury playing cornerback to score the tying touchdown from his wide receiver position. So 2 long touchdown passes here in the third quarter. This kick going to be out of bounds. Be Mustang football at the 35-yard line.
You don't really want to say this, but coming off of such a successful first half, you've got to wonder if Moundsview became a little complacent over halftime, and they just haven't really woken up with the Raiders continuing to put pressure on them on all sides of the ball.
There were no signs of life from Roseville in that first half, though. I mean, you and I both thought Moundsview would come out and put another score on the board, go up 4, and that would be it. But that is not at all what has happened. This Mustang offense needs to get moving. They've got trips to the field side. They're going to throw a wide receiver screen to Nystrom. He hits the corner, but there's going to be a block in the back. So that's going to put Moundsview behind the sticks.
Voss is limp again.
I like the idea trying to get their best offensive player right now, Tyler Nystrom, the football. I don't think this team wanted to play Antoine Voss tonight. I think they thought if they could get off the field with a win here and not have to play a banged-up Voss, they'd be in a better position next week against Stillwater.
Which is kind of odd to me because they were playing him throughout the first half as well when we were having great success.
He didn't start and hadn't been playing before with the Wheeler injury, and he's noticeably limping. Rask going to be the single receiver to the boundary side. Voss and Nystrom out to the right. They've got Olsen, the freshman, back in at running back. Screen pass here to Olsen. He's hit hard behind the line of scrimmage. So Roseville's playing some tough defense, keeping Mounds View behind the sticks.
Great stick by the linebacker there. Olsen was sort of tripped up by one of the D-backs, so the linebacker was just able to, obviously the bigger man, use his momentum and just lay Olsen out on the sideline there.
Out of the gun with Olsen to his right. Wark takes a drop, moves to the right, throws deep downfield. No one home. The receiver fell down. There is a flag. So we could have an interference or a holding penalty of some kind. That would give Mounds View a first down, which they desperately need here. That was a 2nd and 16 play.
I'm not sure about that one. With Vaz having limped the way he is, I think it could be plausible that he just tripped and was able to make it seem like he was held. But I'm going to need to see the replay before I can definitively say one way or the other what really happened there.
Well, they signaled pass interference, so it will be a 15-yard gain for the Mustangs. But it will not be a first down. It will be 2nd and 1. That's how far they were behind the sticks. But still a better outcome for the Mustangs than would the incomplete pass have been. They were really struggling here on offense. This hopefully gives them a little bit of a boost. It's going to be a pitch. This one to Olsen. He works to get to the corner. He's not going to get there. Roseville closes quickly. Clinton on the tackle for the Raiders. It's going to be 3rd and 2. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Let's hope the fourth goes better for your Mustangs. We're tied 21-21 with 12 minutes to play. The fourth quarter going to start as soon as these two teams flip sides.
I'm going to be honest, Rob. I'm a little bit puzzled by that play call right now. This entire game, Mounds View hasn't really been able to run to the edges, but that draw play, especially with Olsen at running back, we've seen success from that. He had an 11-yard draw in the second quarter, I believe. So we're at a 2nd and 1, 2nd and 2 situation. I don't understand why you wouldn't go back to that and try and get your easy first down.
I think they're going to have to move the football through the air.
Right now, what I would say for the Mounds View offense is try and send Nystrom on those routes down the middle like we did coming out against Anoka in the second half. To great effect, we were able to push the ball downfield fast by sending him on little streaks down the middle, little posts across over the top of the linebackers.
Tell you what, we just ran that pass interference back. We have the ability to rewind the feed. That did not look like interference, but we'll take it. Trips to the right now. A big third down play for this Mustang offense. Wark going to look to his right and throw incomplete over the middle. Takes a hard hit. But that's going to be 4th down for the Raiders.
Good shot by number 56 from the Raiders. That is
Novotny, yeah.
Novotny. We haven't called his name in a while, but 5'11", 225. So big guy put a nice shot on Wark as he threw the ball. That explains the uncharacteristic duck wobbly pass to the middle of nowhere from Wark. Was taking a shot as he released the ball.
So Samuel on to punt for the Mustangs. Looks like Ivy is back deep. This is a good high spiraling punt. Ivy falls down trying to cut backward. Fenning Went gonna down the punt right around the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Roseville. They are on fire offensively, particularly through the air. Isaac Ivy and Gabriel Pacheco both with deep touchdown passes in that third quarter.
While I would say the big touchdown plays have been from the air, it has really been set up by Roseville's ability to consistently run the ball both up the middle and around the outside. And so eventually there comes a time where you can't cover everything, and they can send one guy deep, and he becomes uncovered for a big touchdown pass.
This is going to be the quarterback. Brown up the middle, big gain, his biggest of the night on the ground. Roseville rolling that about a 20-yard gain. It's going to be 1st and 10 for midfield for the Raiders.
I tell you, this Raiders offense has really come alive in this second half here. Mitch Thompson for the Mustangs, number 77, almost was able to trip up Brown in the backfield, but Brown is an athlete who was able to keep his balance and just use quick, straight line speed up the gut.
No Jack Kelly for the Mustangs. They're hurting at safety. This again going to be a quarterback keeper and a nice gain on 1st down. Be about 2nd and 3 for the Raiders.
This is the kind of football game as an offensive lineman you love to play right now. You're just running it up the gut time and time again. You really get to impose your will on the defensive lineman, and there's not much more for a defensive lineman that's demoralizing than having the ball ran up the gut play after play after play.
Looks like Henricks has checked in for Jack Kelly at the safety position. This is going to be Brookins for a 1st down up past the 40-yard line. 1st and 10, Roseville.
That was a good closing tackle made by Evan Hatton there. Unfortunately, he couldn't get to him before the 1st down, but that could have saved an even bigger gain there by the Raiders.
Brown out of empty. He's going to keep it himself. Another big play.
Colin Elliott on the tackle there. Even though he's the smaller guy in that situation, he lowered his shoulder and made Brown work for that one.
8-yard gain.
Saved the 1st down, though. I will always take a 2nd and short over another 1st and 10.
So Elliott can't play any closer to the line of scrimmage, though. He's got to stay deep. They've been successful through the air. And like you said, these quarterback runs now are what's going to keep Mounds View honest and allow Roseville an opportunity to go over the top. They're going to hand it off to Brookins on a sweep to the right. Roseville just looks like the faster team. Brookins breaking tackles, and he is all the way up inside the 5-yard line, tackled at the 2. 1st and goal, Roseville. They threaten here to put 4 unanswered scores on the Mustangs. 9:03 remaining here in the game.
Looks like they're going to mark that about the 1. And if I'm Roseville here, go with what's been working. Run your QB dives, or better yet, run Cheetah, your power back, up the middle. Number 18, he has been having great success onto 1 to 2 yard dives on 3rd and short. Put him in the backfield. Let him run it up the middle.
This is going to be the quarterback keeping it. And he's going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Roseville. Isaiah Brown, a 2-yard quarterback keeper into the end zone. Roseville has their first lead of the game, 27-21. They've scored 4 unanswered touchdowns in the second half. Mounds View in control to start this game, but they have not been able to do anything offensively or defensively in the second half. Whistle here, flag down.
I think there might have been an offsides. Let's see what they call it. And if it is half the distance, I might go for it here.
That's going to be an offside penalty on Mounds View. They'll move it a titch closer. Extra point here from Roseville. Snap is good. Kick is up. They lead by 7. Coleman's kick is good. 28-21 with 8:33 remaining. Mounds View reeling. A number of injuries causing this major turn of events. It would appear that Sam Hendricks is in for an injured Jack Kelly. He was in that entire drive, probably why Olsen has gotten so many looks at running back. Dylan Wheeler also out, in addition to Rasmussen and Molinar, who were hurt against Anoka. Jack Bry also injured. So a number of Mustang starters not able to play tonight. And that has made all the difference against a Roseville team that is very athletic and has definitely shown that they have some speed.
As we were saying at the beginning of the game, they are 0-5, but part of that is because they have played a number of very good teams this season. The games that they haven't played overlapping with the Mustangs have been Stillwater and Wayzata, who have only lost 1 game combined.
Coleman going to kick off close to the hash from the 40. This is going to be Fenning Went with the return up shy of the 30-yard line. Mustangs will take over there 1st and 10, trailing for the first time all game with 8:29 remaining here in the 4th quarter.
The Mustangs really need to make something happen here. It doesn't need to be a touchdown, but they need to get their confidence back. All that takes is really 1 or 2 first downs on a good series to sort of say, all right, we're okay. Everything's fine. We can still make this happen. But right now, Roseville has just been pressuring this Mounds View offense nonstop.
Rask going to line up wide of the numbers. It's going to be a handoff here to Hendricks. So he now playing both ways. Fatigue probably a factor here for really both squads. Brookins checks in at safety for the Raiders. He too has been on the field quite a lot this evening. Trips to the left for the Mustangs. Just under 8 minutes here remaining in the game. Going to be another handoff to Hendricks. And a short gain, bringing up about a 3rd down and 6.
What I think is happening right now is Mounds View's trying to lure the Roseville defense to bring men into the box, and then they're going to try and hit Nystrom or Rask deep, make something happen over the top here. You see both of them lined up on the far side of the field together.
Loud crowd here. That ball tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Roseville forces another 4th down situation. And with 7:19, Mounds View has their toughest decision. You'd think they would have to punt on their own 34-yard line. They do indeed bring on the punt team. Roseville going to get the ball back. This offense has not been stopped here in this second half. This a dicey proposition for this Mustang team, punting it away. Isaac Ivy back deep. Good snap. Solid punt that's going to bounce. Ivy really should have tried to get that. He loses about 5 yards to the 25-yard line. The Raiders will start there 1st and 10.
He didn't even need to pick up that punt, but he shouldn't stand so close. You're not technically supposed to do it, but if you accidentally bump the return man into where the ball is, you can easily get a recovered fumble there, which is the last thing that Roseville wants right now. With 7 minutes left in the game and the way their offense has been moving, they just want to get the ball, have a long drive, put some points on the board, and make it near impossible for the Mustangs to make a comeback here.
Roseville with another quarterback run. They had quads to the left. Quarterback keeper for Brown, collecting a bunch of yards on the ground in this second half. They had nothing going in the first half. Brown couldn't run the football beyond the line of scrimmage. And now he's got gaping holes, and he's exploiting this Mustang defense up the middle.
Again, that was great blocking by the offensive line. I will also give credit to the halfback for a great pickup of a linebacker there. And Colin Elliott, again, has really had to be the man to stick Brown before the first down marker.
So cover 0 here. Hendricks all the way over to the right. Not sure what they were doing there. There's a flag down. Brown is dropped for a loss with a flag. Hendricks looked to be double covering Pacheco, but left the middle of the field open.
I don't know what that penalty was on, but good defensive play by Abdallah Abed there. It is against Roseville, but couldn't exactly tell what it was from up here.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. So that a big mistake for the Raiders. This is really what their experience was in the first half. They were often behind the sticks. Mistakes with penalties, tackles for loss. 2nd and 20 from the 15-yard line. Pacheco and Ivy to the boundary side to the left of Brown. This is going to be a handoff to Brookins. Man, he gets ahead of speed, and he is all the way up to the original line of scrimmage, so a 10-yard gain for the Raiders.
Good open field tackle by Colin Elliott there. If he didn't get that tackle, I think Brookins would have gotten the first down on that play because that guy is fast on the edge there. It was also a great block by number 18, Cheetah, for the Raiders there. Was able to stop the other sophomore on defense, Evan Hatton. Hatton was lining up outside linebacker in a key spot to where Brookins would have been tackled, but Cheetah made a great block on an open man there, sealed the edge, allowed Brookins to get outside before Colin Elliott made that tackle.
A lot of tackles from the safeties tonight, which means Roseville's moving the football. But Mustangs really giving the Raiders a different look here. And Roseville definitely calling a timeout, seeing a cover 0 with no safeties in the middle of the field. Be interesting to see what they go to here, particularly if they see the safeties vacate like they did that time.
Yeah, I would say if you don't have safeties over the top, Ivy has been deadly on those long passes. And when your offensive line can give Brown protection, he's been proven to be able to have accuracy on those deep balls. So I'm interested to see if Mustangs are actually going to come out in that cover 0 again, or if they're going to drop Hendricks or Elliott back into coverage.
It's hard to know how many reps Hendricks has gotten at safety. This is the first time he's played here that I can recall. Elliott, just a sophomore.
Well, it looked on that, like right now in the lineup, Elliott was telling Hendricks where he needed to go. So
yeah, they look like they're in a cover, maybe even a cover 4. They're definitely not pressing. They're going to hand off here to Ivy around the right-hand side. He's tied up there. Ivor Westerman's going to clean up. That's going to be a short gain for the Raiders.
Looked like the initial tackle was made by Evan Hatton.
Leading the charge for the Mustangs, Evan Hatton.
Looks like
With the player down.
our guy is down.
That's Ivy down again, banged up.
So you wonder if it's his cramp again or if he got his ankles rolled up in the tackle there, because Hatton was hanging around the ankles
he was.
there.
Yep.
And then he did get sort of laid out by Westerman and a bunch of other Mustangs. So it is entirely plausible that the knees and the ankles and everything really below the waist could get a little messed up in a pile like that.
Well, if recent history is any indicator, this is the best thing for the Raiders. Take Ivy out for a play, and then he comes back and shows off some explosiveness.
I believe this is the first punt of the second half from the Raiders.
This is going to push Nystrom all the way back to the 35-yard line. Good recovery there and a pickup. Nystrom up to midfield, up to the 45. So great field position, really the best field position the Mustangs have had this second half. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line.
This is really, I believe, a make or break moment for the Mustangs right now. With 4.5 minutes left, even though the Raiders didn't score, they were still able to burn 2.5 minutes off the clock there. And I think if the Mustangs don't score, they're not going to get another opportunity in this game.
This is where the Mustangs like a trick play. Right around midfield. This is going to be offsides Mustangs. Looks like movement from the wide receiver. Not sure if that's Rask up there on the top of the field. It is. So a 5-yard penalty going to push the Mustangs back into their own territory. Be 1st and 15.
And an already struggling Mustang offense, that's the last thing that you need at this point in the game.
Vaz in the slot to the right of Wark. He's going to look his way. Vaz is open and a slant route caught. Hit immediately, but a nice gain there. It'll be 2nd and 5. A 10-yard gain on a slant route for the Mustangs.
It's interesting to see the Mustangs targeting Voss over Nystrom in a lot of these situations.
Hendricks back in the single set eye opposite Wark. Trips to the field side. Looks like Fenning went out wide of the numbers. This is going to be Hendricks up the middle. Met right around the first down marker. Tough hit, tough run for Hendricks.
I think they're going to probably mark it as a 3rd and short here.
That Cheetah kid can deliver the wood.
He is a solid kid who is not afraid to throw his weight around.
Another 4 wide receiver set for the Mustangs. Wark a 1-step drop. He's going to fire it out to the right. It's got a receiver. It's caught. 1st down, Mustangs up to the 12-yard line.
That's number 80. We don't know who it is still. But that was a great body control to stay in bounds there.
We're hoping the booth had it, but they don't either. So that a big play, though. With 2:55 here remaining in the game, Mustangs down 7. Threatening here to tie the game. Wark out a gun. Looks left. Throws left, end zone. That's going to be interference. That has to be called. Are you kidding me?
Looks like Nystrom's a little wobbled.
They hit him well before the ball was there. Ran right over him. Don't call it. Maybe a makeup call for the interference penalty they got this last series. But 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs. 2:41 stop. That incompletion stops the clock. Vaz and Nystrom to the left. Hinrichs in motion. They're going to swing it his way. Good block there by Nystrom, but Hinrichs falls. He knew it too. He had end zone on his mind. Tripped up by a turf monster, and he goes down after a short gain.
That is unfortunate. And, you know, Hinrichs is probably the type of guy who's going to blame himself. He looks like he might have tripped over the feet of Tyler Nystrom there.
I think he did. That is too bad. He was definitely going to score. That was a great block from Nystrom. That kid can play. Nystrom does it all. So Nystrom and Rask to the left. Work's going to look to the right. Had an out route and a curl route, and that's going to be picked in the end zone. Who else? Isaac Ivey. Penalty flag down. Not sure if this will stand. But when it matters, your best athletes make plays, and that's Isaac Ivey for this Roseville team. He's been all over the field on both sides of the football.
It looks like there's a Raider down, clutching his leg, and he isn't moving. I don't know if it's another cramp. Looks like that's what it is. Call is against the Raiders.
Wow.
That is a big turn of events there. Going from a pick in the end zone to now a penalty, continuing the drive for the Mustangs.
Man, there was nothing there. I don't know what that concept was. It must have been more of a scramble drill. Again, it's hard that we don't know the name of number 80, but it looked like they wanted to go a high-low concept. They had an out route, maybe a curl route on top of it, but then it looked like the receiver for the Mustangs decided instead to run a dig. He was running to the inside as Work was rolling out to the right. And whenever you're throwing behind your receiver, there's always a threat of interception, and that is what happened. But the penalty gives the Mustangs a new life. Looks like from the 5-yard line.
The only person that I think number 80 could be is a sophomore, Amir Safi. He normally wears number 3 on JV, but with Rask wearing number 3, they might have put him in number 80. So that's the only person that I think it could be. Other than that, I'm kind of lost on that one.
I don't get it. Is it still 3rd down? What was the penalty?
I don't know. I think they might have called pass interference.
So Work's going to deliver here. Nystrom touchdown on an out route. His 3rd score of the evening. And with the extra point pending, the Mustangs look to tie this one up with 1:44 remaining. It's 28-27. Roseville leads. Samuel on for the extra point. Wow, the Mustangs are going to go for 2.
That's interesting because there's only 1:44 left. Roseville only has 1 timeout.
Why not? Let's go. Work out of the gun with trips to his right. Vaz, Nystrom. And number 80, this is going to be a timeout, Mustangs. Interesting call here from Moberg, going for it. Probably thinking he's got a great 2-point conversion play up his sleeve. Be fun to see what they call here.
I went back and looked at the review of that penalty. I don't know what they called.
It was weird, man. It was still third down. Like, it must have been.
I don't know if they called it a block in the back after the interception. I don't know if they called it.
That wouldn't give us the ball.
That's what I'm.
Holding would give us a first down. I don't know if it was like an offsides penalty that only moved the ball halfway to the goal line. It had to be.
But then it would still be a loss of down if it was an offsides, or
they wouldn't. It's a free play.
What I mean is they wouldn't have let the play go on in high school. If it's an offsides, they blow it
you're
dead.
Right. I don't get it. I don't know. Bizarre, but we'll take it because it's either going to be a 1-point game or a 1-point. Well, either way, it's a 1-point game, right?
Unless they can drive in 1:45.
So the Mustangs come back out looking for a 2-point conversion. This brings me back all the way to St. Michael Albertville a couple of years ago. They're going to run Warwick over to the right. Looking for Nystrom in the back. It's caught instead by number 80. 2-point conversion is good. Mustangs lead 29-28 with 1:44 remaining. The Mustangs take a 1-point lead.
I don't know who number 80 is definitively, but he has been a key part of that Mustang drive.
No question about it.
145, because I believe he was the one who drew the penalty in the back of the end zone. He also had a big catch along the sideline, and then that 2-point conversion there.
Absolutely crazy second half. I was bored at 21-0. I got to admit, it just looked like another ho-hum Mounds View victory against Roseville. But they came out guns a-blazing. Very well-coached team, make great adjustments at halftime. The Raiders go 4 unanswered touchdowns before the Raiders come out, even the game, and go for 2 to win it. They get it. And now Roseville has one more shot with 1:44 remaining. Samuel going to kick off from the 40-yard line.
And one thing I'd want to note is that Roseville, unlike Anoka last week, they like to take their time on their drives. Anoka is so fast with the ball, always a hurry-up offense. Roseville is a more meticulous offense. They get set, they call their play, and then they drive the ball.
Samuel's kick is high. It drives the Raider receiver back. He drops the ball and fumbles. Oh my gosh, he just got lit up. Wow, that is going to draw some ire from this Roseville Raider team. They did not call a penalty, but it was unclear what was going on. I don't know who that was, number 18 for the Mustangs. But he dropped Hayden Pierce. That's the hardest hit of the game. Now they're calling a penalty against the Raiders along the sideline.
Looks like that is number 18, Fee Nguyen.
Holy cow, did he crush Hayden Pierce for the Raiders.
I'm gonna be honest, I was confused on what was going on up here in the booth, because normally when the guy hits to the back and has the ball in his hands, they call it down. But he rolled back after catching the ball and dropped it, and they didn't blow the whistle, so then he picked it up and got cracked by Fee Nguyen there. So I don't know what the coaches were mad at, either the shot that he took sort of in the head area of Pierce, or if the fact that they didn't blow the whistle when he was initially down. But now there is a minute 38 for the Raiders to drive 98 yards if they want to win this game.
Roseville, a nice gain here. Digging themselves out of a bit of a hole on that muffed return.
Clock stops as they move the chain.
Lost in all of that was a great kick by Samuel. He really put a boot into that one.
If I was the returner, I would have let that one go with how close it was to the sideline.
Could have gone out of bounds or been a touchback. Either way, it would have been a better situation than they had. This is going to be incomplete. Looked like a short in route for the Raiders. 2nd and 10 from the 18-yard line. So another great game, so entertaining. This Mustang team keeps you in it, keeps you entertained the whole time. Great call by Moberg to go for 2 and take the lead. 29-28, 1:15 here remaining in the game. Roseville deep in their own territory. They're going to throw it on a wide receiver screen here to Ivy. This kid's got wheels and has been great all night. He's going to get about a 9-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd and short. Clock stops out of bounds. 1:08 remaining.
At the 27-yard line.
That's an interesting spot for the ball because I thought he basically fell over that pylon there, one of the sticks, because he was spinning like a top, trying to break free.
What he does, man. That kid's so hard to bring down. So Pacheco going to be out to the left. Ivy in the slot now. Trips to the left. And this is going to be a quarterback keeper from Brown. And he's going to be stopped shy of the first down. That's also going to keep the clock running. Roseville going to call a timeout. You can see Simdorn screaming behind the referee on the sideline. He's going to walk out and huddle his team up. It's going to be 4th and short with 1 minute and 1 second remaining on the clock.
If I'm Roseville in this situation, I go with the jet sweep that has been working time and time again here. Not only will that probably get a first down, but that's also going to put you very close to out of bounds. Even if you only get 5 yards, to stop the clock is big in this situation.
Attention, all fans. There'll be no students on the field following the game. We ask for your cooperation. No students on the field following the end of the game.
Roseville bracing for a victory here, thinking they're going to get downfield in the minute 1. All they really need to do is get within field goal range. Coleman looks like he has a decent leg for this Raider team, but they're a long way from field goal position at this point. They just announced not to have students on the field. I do anticipate they'd be pretty excited with a walk-off victory if they were able to get it tonight. Westerman's going to blitz here. He chases the running back down from the right. There's a flag down, but he does have a first down. Mounds working hard to keep him in bounds. That was number 21, Clinton, on the carry. So an interesting play call there. Roseville boos. That penalty is going to go against the Raiders. That's going to make it even more difficult for them to convert here on 4th down.
Yeah, because that's going to put them, it's a spot foul. Going to be about 4th and 12 now.
Yikes, big holding penalty. I would not put it past this offense to convert this, though. They are athletic, and they've been on fire. They've got a lot of confidence, especially in number 13. Ivy's going to go out to the right. Brown chucks it deep. It's going to be picked off by Fetting Went. He slides down at the 38-yard line. That'll be Mustang football, 35 seconds remaining. They're going to kneel this one down, and Mounds going to escape Roseville with a victory here, leading 29-28 with 35 seconds remaining in the game.
Raiders turn the ball over on down to the Mustangs. 36 seconds to go. Once again, both Mounds and Roseville students, we ask no rushing the field after the game. Please respect
Unbelievable second half.
this announcement.
That was a lot of things going on in a very short amount of time, especially in that fourth quarter there.
Appreciate those of you sticking with us. Was looking a little bleak there in the third quarter, but some fantastic coaching and execution by this Mustang team. They're able to squeak out a victory against a rival just down the road. The clock ticking here, 20 seconds remaining. No timeouts remaining for the Raiders. And that's going to do it. Coach Simdorn out to midfield to meet his squad. Congratulate this Mustangs team and coaching staff. Mounds View evens their record to 3-3. They've got Stillwater and Maple Grove remaining on their schedule heading into the playoffs. We will be live next week from Mounds View High School. For Thomas Van Ort, I'm Rob Reitz. Mounds View wins 29-28 at Roseville Area High School to even their record at 500. Thanks for watching and have a great night, folks. We'll see you next week.